superhero movie is written and directed by Craig Mazin. It is a parody of superhero films, mainly Spider-Man. But this is an interesting sort of showcase of how far Craig Mazin has come as a filmmaker, writer, director. He made this movie really quickly in 2008 among the sort of burgeoning, sort of low-effort parody spoof movies that was started with Scary Movie. Scary Movie came out in 2000, a bunch of sequels, and then a couple of the writers of that movie branched off and did a whole bunch of crap, parody films like The Extreme Movie, Date Movie, Meet the Spartans, and this was another one of those films. But Craig Mazin would later go on to make the award-winning series Chernobyl and then Green Book. So you got to start somewhere, and this movie is really definitely low effort. Drake Bell plays Rick Riker. He is a teenager who gets bitten by a radioactive dragonfly, giving him powers, and then he wants to impress the girl, but he has to defeat a villain vaguely related to him called Hourglass, a scientist who's about to die from a terminal disease, but he has to suck life force every day in order to survive. So the two of them battle it out, and this movie works when it's doing a direct parody of Spider-Man. It's following the plot beat for beat, but when they try to shoehorn in like the X-Men or Fantastic Four jokes, they fall really flat because they feel like shoehorned in. It's just like a random reference where someone will walk in and be like, "I'm the Invisible Girl and I'm going to smack you," and there's plenty of slapstick humor, but not enough. You can definitely tell that this was a very low-effort movie because a lot of the jokes just don't land, and they're just, some of them are really good. Like there's a great Thanksgiving recreation scene from Spider-Man, but the movie just doesn't go hard enough. For example, in the original Spider-Man, there's a scene where Green Goblin attacks Aunt May. It's an iconic sequence. And in this movie, they do the same thing, but they cut to black because they don't show it. But it would have been hilarious if he was like, "I'm going to attack your aunt," and then he finds out that she doesn't have enough life force to suck. He should have body slammed her through a table and done wrestling moves on her. And you switch to like a body double of like a really fake looking mannequin. He like throws her around the room. That would have been hilarious because it's just weird and over the top, and it's something in vein of something like Blazing Saddles. If you're going to lampoon a superhero movie, you need to go all the way. And this movie's like an hour and 11 minutes. It's very dated. And there's a decent cast. You got Leslie Nielsen in there as his uncle, and Sarah Paxton as the love interest. For example, another scene is when he attacks, the aunt in that scene. He should have like kidnapped her and the girlfriend and made him do the hero's dilemma thing like in Spider-Man, but they don't do that either. There's no scene. There's a really funny scene where the climax breaks into a Comic-Con style place. There's no accidentally punching, a villain that looks like Hourglass or anything, or any other jokes of that nature. They rib on Stephen Hawking, but that gets old after a while. So this is definitely feels like a first draft attempt of a parody movie. It didn't withstand the test of time, but it made me chuckle. It's really dumb, and mainly watch it for Leslie Nielsen. So for that, I give superhero movie a 5 out of 10.